Monday, January 15th, 2018. We're going to try the northern part of the main part of Montara State Beach. I was at the lookout point there on the north side of the beach yesterday, and I noticed a lot of sand filled in on the north side. And so in an area where there tends to be a lot more water, even on the low tide, is very low. And I'm going to put my waders on, and if I calculate it about right, I'll probably start out wading around in about 2 to 3 feet of water, and it'll keep going down towards 5 o'clock when the low tide hits. And then the sun's going to be gone at 5:30, so I'll be heading out about that time. See how we do. Possibly some eels, rockfish, who knows? Let's go find out. There are so many factors involved in the movement of sand on a sandy beach, and this is the north side of the main part of Montara State Beach. Down that way to the south, there's where the parking lot is. There's actually another parking lot off on the northbound side of the road, but it only holds about 3 or 4 cars at a time. But going back over here, so right now it's about 2:30 and the tide is going down. Look at all that sand. If you look at one of my videos previously where I was at Montara State Beach, I was down there and there was a couple other guys on those rocks right over here, and there was a ton of water in here. That's because the sand level was a lot lower, and of course the tide was much higher, but still the sand has come up significantly enough where all this rocky area in here, I'm gonna give it a shot with a poke pole. See if I can't pull up some rockfish and or eels or something like that. Here we're taking with us poke poling. Got a poke pole, which I made at home by myself. I got some hooks in my backpack, so I'm gonna attach the end of that. A net is a good idea when poke poling, and a bucket, gloves, and also got a fillet glove. This makes it easier if you catch an eel. They're pretty slimy. Makes it easier to hang on to. Squid for bait. Underneath that I got some water for drinking. That is just crazy. I love the way those lines pop up like that. Now with the size of this swell, now look at, see this coming around here? That's a couple of feet of water right there. So you really got to be careful. You're coming out during a rugged tide like this. But you'll see it coming. That's the nice thing, is that it's breaking so far out there that it kind of slowly rolls its way up here. So if you see like a 15-footer cracking way out there, you know you better get back up in this way. Like I said, never turn your back on it. Look at it, look at it. There it comes, look at that. That's not bad. A couple of feet, that's not gonna kill anyone. Now, another plan, which will probably be a lot safer, is to climb up on that rock and then hang off the side, poke pulling down here so I could watch the waves better out there. Watch those waves. And when I see a real big one, just retreat back this way on the rock. But it's still going down. We got about maybe an hour and 45 minutes left of sunlight. And look at those swells. That is insane. Imagine trying to duck dive under that swell. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. See how the water comes in like this from about 1 to 2 feet. Now let's watch this next one. The next one's going to be a little bit bigger because that swell was about 11 feet or so. So let's see how much water this one brings in. See that mess coming right there? And you see how long it takes to get here. See, that's a little bit higher right there. Definitely, it was about 3 feet right there. Coming up to me, it'll be about a foot or two. Always maintain like a spaced footing. Keep your feet spaced apart like you were trying to balance on a surfboard. and you'll be okay. If you got your feet together, you're gonna fall over. Now you can see where my stuff is. My stuff's all the way back there, as high up as I can get it, at the end of this rock here. And the water ain't coming up but a couple more feet than it is right there. So my stuff should be good. And right out in here, something happened. See, this is the ever-changing Pacific Ocean. There used to be rocks just like this, a continuation going out even further. But I think during the high tide, on big waves on a high tide, it might have been breaking in here and probably broke some of those off. This used to go out probably about twice as far as it's going out right now. Yeah. So I think some of these rocks here broke off and they're probably buried in the sand now. You see there's a lot of mussel out here too. Now, you see the way people have been harvesting the mussel out here? They've just been plowing away at it, just stripping it right off the rock. And that's a real bad way to harvest mussel. If you do use mussel, use what you need while you're out here, and pick one here and pick one over here. Try to pick the ones from the outer side, because the ones on the inside, they're the ones that are holding down the fort there. For the ones that are coming behind them and catching on to them and growing on the outside of them, you just go stripping it right down to the rock. This is used to all be mussel in here just a couple of years ago, and it is kind of sad to see it in such a condition. Look at over here. Look at that. Someone came in here, and that's just greed, folks. Greed. You don't need that much bait. Take what you need and learn how to harvest in a way that makes a lot more sense. Wow. I guess that's what Mother Nature thinks of my little thing there. Did you see that? Came real close to eating it right there, but I had good footing. So one thing good about this mussel, it'll give you some good footing here. That was awesome. I'm a little bit wet actually, just a little bit wet on the top half. It's really not smart for me to be out here today. It really isn't smart. And I think I'm gonna wait another half hour or so for it to pull back just a little bit more, and then maybe try some of these spots here. We see right over in there, see? There's some holes there where there might be some rockfish. So we're just gonna wait a little bit longer before we climb down off of this thing. It was so big that it jumped up on here and came climbing across here. Now look how low it is. This is about the average level of the water right now. But when the wave is really big, it's gonna plow in here like you wouldn't believe. And this becomes a very dangerous place. But I'm looking at a hole right over there. See right under those rocks there? That I really wanna, I really do wanna try that. But we got to give it a little time, because we'd like to go home tonight and eat some dinner too. Long wave over here. Holy Toledo. Now let's watch how that sends water over this way. You can see right now the water is about 7 feet below me right now. Boy, that much water moving this way. Watch this. See how dry it is over here? Water's gonna come in here too. Okay, look at that, right over there. There's a spot that I like to do some poke poling, but I don't think I've got enough time. Yeah, and it won't be safe even when the low tide hits, because look at it right there. If I was over there poke poling right now, oh, that'd be it. I'd be floating on the water. You see how fast that came out? Look at this side here. This is about a 1 to 2 foot coating of water across that, what was just sand a few seconds ago. That was just sand. Now look at all that water in there. Like I said, about 1 to 2 feet of water there. And that's the difference today. The tide's still gonna go back about another hour or so. And then I might be willing to try something here, but I think I might be better just making a video showing you where not to go when the swell is huge. Because that is insane. It's beautiful and crazy at the same time. Look at all the different directions the water is moving in. It's just all over the place. It goes wherever it wants to go. Now that's true freedom right there. The freedom of water. And the way that it moves. This makes my Gilligan's Island video look like a real lightweight video. And it was compared to this. This is some monster stuff out here. Now look how quickly it retreats. From way up in here, and you're going back out that way, and it just retreats outward. I'm still waiting at least a half hour before I even think about going in there. But I want to see a couple of more big ones. Here comes the big one now. So let's see where this takes the water level to. And still, just about 1 hour to the low tide. And look at how much water it brings up when the swells are huge. Now it's only like a couple of feet deep in most of this area. Over here I found it was getting a little bit deeper, 3, maybe 4 feet. I may not be able to even go in that part there. But still, all that water's got to do is make you slip, trip, fall down, lose your balance. You get swept out there, good luck. Yeah. Look at that. That got up to about 4 feet right in there. Yeah. That was another big one. And we're about 45 minutes away from the low tide. So it looks like we're not going to get to do any poke poling today. We're not that crazy. Just had 2 big ones hit. Let's see how that influences things over here. You see how crazy that is? Look at that. I mean, you got to consider speed factors too when you're dealing with that much water. How fast is that going? 20 miles an hour? I'm not sure. But I sure wouldn't want to try to stand up in that water right now. It's a little, see, coming back like that, it's kind of nice. Yeah, you could stand up in that there, but for a lot of people, that would still knock them down. Look at that duck out there. He's just going about like it's an ordinary day. No big deal. No big deal. Just duck under the swell. The water's going in about 6 or 7 different directions all around us here. Some of it's retreating, some of it's coming in, most of it's coming in. And then some of it's cutting across on the side here. Look at this one. So right over there, that's about 4 or 5 feet right there. Now it's down to about 2 or 3 feet in here. But look at the speed of that. Did you want to get caught in that? Look at that. Where that water whips up against that rock. I think this will be a video of where you don't want to go when it's reading, well, when the Mavericks guys start thinking, hey, maybe we'll throw Mavericks this weekend. Yeah, you probably don't want to go on any west facing beaches. Look at that. this one here, this is going to bring the water in. Yeah, it's falling right behind that one. It's hard to say if most of the water will be on this part right here. This is a ton of water though, right here. Watch this. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's bringing it in. And then, yeah, that's probably going to be the most of it. Damn. That's almost up to 6 feet. And you know what? We're about 10 minutes away from the low tide. So that's a low tide. That's how much difference the height of the water can change on a low tide on a sandy beach, on this beach. On a day like this. You just can't turn your back on waves like these. You do, and that could be it. Or you could go for a swim that you weren't expecting, which could be quite refreshing. But you gotta ask yourself, am I be able to swim out there? Look at that. Most people are saying probably not. I don't see a soul in the water right now. There's nobody out there. Got a lot of water right there, and it's real close. That'll bring some water up in here. Watch how the water level changes right here. this wall of water right here, it's a couple feet higher than it is. That's gonna splash up. I think that's going to be it, folks. We're right about at the exact low tide, and I'm going to pull out of here. No fishing today, but this has been kind of exciting, just being out here doing this.